The stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till He appeared, and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angels' voices, oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born. Oh, night divine, oh, night divine. Holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till He appeared, and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary world rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees, oh, hear the angels' voices, oh, night divine, oh, night when Christ was born. Oh, night divine, oh, night divine.
That is amazing. Happy New Year, guys. First of all, we're starting the year on an amazing, amazing new note. And I am here with some people. When you miss Kia, they have some angelic voices. Consolata.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
I'm also here with Joshua, the amazing instrumentalist. Kwaje? Mwoka imeanza vizuri? Because I'm loving this note that we have started on, and I hope you guys are enjoying it as well. Thank you so much, first of all, for sticking to Y254. Welcome back to yet another year of Power Talk. This is the first episode of 2025.
Wow.
So we're on the second. Jana ndo ni New Year. Tumemaliza the Christmas festivities and everything is just everywhere. So we're still in the Christmas vibe, but because it's a new year, we want to talk about setting our intentions and figuring out what we're going to do this new year. So that's the energy that we're going with today. First of all, thank you guys for blessing me with that song.
Thank you, thank you.
That was beautiful.
Thank you very much.
So I'm here with Consolata. You've heard from her, Consolata Atieno. She's a musician. And we have Joshua Makero, who is an instrumentalist and an audio producer.
Yeah.
So you guys, first of all, Thank you. Venye nimesema tena. I'm in awe because it feels like Ariana Grande was just
Oh,
here.
yes.
Yeah. How many years have you been performing for?
It's been 12 years. I've been
12?
singing, yeah, for 12 years.
That's a really long time.
It's a really long time.
What about you, Joshua? How many years have you been playing for?
I've been playing for 3 years.
Mm-hmm. Which is really, really good. And you also mentioned you've done 15 years on the keyboard as well earlier.
Yeah, I've done it.
I like that. Because, do you know, guys, mgekwa, if you are parents right now, that will be like a teenager.
Yeah.
You've raised the child for all those years, and that's the talent within yourself that you've nurtured and you've gotten to this level.
Yeah.
And it's really beautiful for us to experience. I hope you guys are enjoying this as well. I want to continue this conversation. We're talking about setting our agenda for the new year, setting our intentions and figuring out what we're doing for the new year. And as we progress with this conversation with Consolata and Joshua, I want to hear from you. You can do that by going to our platforms at Y254. Let me know what's your experience. What was 2024 for you like? And what's the year 2025 going to be like? What do you expect? What do you anticipate this new year is going to be like? So I want first, let us focus on 2024.
Yeah.
Because we've just wrapped up that year. It was very chaotic. It was all over the place.
Yeah.
Let me start with you, Joshua. How was 2024 for you?
Actually, 2024 wasn't good for me. Yeah, when we talk about the maandamano, yeah, and also the security part, yeah, it wasn't that good, especially the area that I live. Yeah, actually, we were forced to come back home earlier than 6 p.m. Yeah.
Which, first of all, I'm sorry about that, because I believe we deserve to live in places that have security, where we feel safe in our homes and in our areas. And last year was heavy for so many reasons.
Yeah.
We started off with femicide, which went on through the entire year. Then we had a season of accidents and flooding, people who were forced to evacuate, even ancestral homes that had never flooded before.
Yeah.
Then the Mandamano, I think that was the height of everything in 2024,
Sure.
because that happened in the middle of the year.
Yeah.
Everyone was forced to, and it was particularly a movement for the younger generation. So it was just the youth coming up and speaking up and voicing their opinions, which unfortunately also led to some other unfortunate events where people lost their lives, people disappeared. And I think from Andamano, mwaka iliisha tu. Exactly, from June, July, August, it just wrapped up. What was your experience, Consolata, of 2024?
Well, siezi sema I had a bad experience like him, because my 2024 was filled with so much joy. I missed the chaotic, all the chaos that was going on.
Yeah.
I graduated early.
Congratulations.
Early 2024. I got married in June.
Congratulations.
A lot happened, and the things that happened in my life in 2024 were all like joyful, cheerful. I missed the mandamanos and everything. I feel like my life went smoothly in 2024.
They were almost monumental, because these are life changes that are super serious. Congratulations on both fronts. That's amazing. Getting married in June in the middle of Mandamano, first of all, that's crazy. I can imagine the venue and the people having to come together. How was that experience like?
It was okay. The organizing part was a bit chaotic, because kudil vendors, you have to, the vendors were like, oh, the supplies, I can't see as ipitisha supplies, tungoja kidogo. But we chose a good venue. Ilikuwa Limuru ndani Kiambu Road, which was away from everything. And our vendors came through. They came through. I missed everything. They came through.
Nice.
Everyone came through for us.
And I think it's always good to have a bit of a silver lining in the midst of everything, because sometimes you can be forced to be in the darkness, that you can't find the light. And that's so amazing that things worked out.
Thank you.
Because I know in that period, so many things had to drop. People had to cancel events. You had to reschedule. So it's very fortunate that you weren't affected that horribly.
Yeah.
And hopefully this is going to be so much better. Joshua, I hope this is going to be so much better, because I understand, especially as a young man living in Kenya, there was some profiling that went on last year. And in some places, if you lived there, you were going through more extreme profiling. And first of all, it's fortunate that you're here. You didn't die. You haven't disappeared.
Yeah.
And we are grateful for that. So is there anything good that happened last year that you feel like you were focusing on as opposed to every other chaotic thing?
Actually, last year I haven't done anything good, because when talk about the maandamano, wakati unajitayarisha uende job studio, ndio unapata wakati umetembea tu vizuri area fulani, unafika unapata kuna block hapo huwezi pita, kidogo unasikia hapo watu wanaibiwa. So wakati unafikiria kuachieve kitu hiyo siku, unapata hiyo siku imeenda waste, unarudi kwa nyumba. Yeah, so I haven't achieved anything last year with that. I can say that is good. Yeah.
But that's not so bad. No, I'm telling you, because the one thing I came to also realize through last year especially was the small things are the things that perhaps we should fixate on. Like the way we're talking about life, health, even you having the talent that you have. That already is a gift in itself. Because I think from 2020, personally, from 2020, life has just been imekuwa marathon. And then I don't know if it's because I became an adult. So now I'm more aware of everything. So it's very easy to focus on the things that we haven't done, on the problems that we've experienced, than to focus on the small things that we have accomplished. Because for me personally, 2024 was long. Let me just say that. There were months where ilikimbia, months zingine zimekokota. And I was wondering, when did we get to 62 days of this month? And it was just up and down, because there was good and there was bad. And I was just trying to find myself through all of that. And especially the times when people were there was the floods happening in my Mankyu, and people lost so much. I was listening to this old man who was talking about him being in his home, in his traditional homestead, ancestral home. His sons have built houses around. He has cattle, goats, everything. He's secure because he knew that this is my land. He's set up roots. And it started flooding. The house he was in, floods ilianza tu pole pole. Maji inaanza tu kupanda. By the next morning he got up. The outside of his home did not look like the homestead that he was used to. His son's home was carried away. The goats were gone. All these things were carried away. And it just reminded me of the story of Job in the Bible. Because when Job lost everything, it was so easy for everyone to look and say, you're having a horrible day. Everything is horrible. You know, there is nothing to be happy about. But the thing that stood out for me in this old man's story, he was okay. His sons were okay. So the son, I think, who was in that home was found a few hours later. He wasn't harmed. No one was injured. So the only thing he really lost was like the cows and the goats, which is material wealth. So it really made me appreciate just having that, the life, knowing that I am okay, my people around me are okay, we are healthy, I can breathe. Through COVID, kupumua pia ilikuwa shida. Yo, it was hectic to even just breathe. You have to pay for oxygen. So it makes you really grateful for those small things. But it's also made me aware the experience as an adult versus as a child, completely different. Because when we're kids, we're just delusional. We're like, oh my God, by 18, I'll have a house. By 25, I'm married with 5 cars, I have homes. And then reality nakuhit una realize you're turning 26 and you don't even have a bicycle.
Imagine, would accomplish anything.
How do you maintain you're just the motivation to keep on going and to see that sometimes we plan but things don't go the way we planned, and it's okay for that to happen. How do you do that, Consolata?
Planning.
How do you find the balance of plan yako ilikuwa hii, reality ni hii, na uko hapa kwa reality and you have to accept whether you like it or not?
So Aki, mimi, I just take the year as it is, because if I sit down, if we many of our mentors watatu advise, kaeni chini, plan, budget, do all that thing, all that. But me, I've tried budgeting and planning, but hakuna kitu kwa plan yangu nishaifanya, hakuna kitu kwa budget yangu nishai push through nayo. So I take the year as it comes. Maybe the little things I can budget for ni kama the monthly essentials tu peke yake, because now if I start budgeting for something, we don't know how the year will turn out. Hatujui kama Gen Z watakuja waandamane tena katikati ya 2025. We don't know if the floods will come back in 2025. We don't know anything that's going to happen this year. So sijui kubudget sahi, kuplan. The year vile inakuja, I'll just walk with it like that.
I like that. It's having a sort of open mind. Na kulikuwa na hii song ilikuwa ina trend ati mwaka ni wangu, sijui mwaka ni wa kuforce. People sang that at the beginning of 2024. But look, ilifika Feb, March, watu like, no. So you just have to keep pushing one way or another.
Tell me ni business idea gani hujafikiria mpaka sasa?
Exactly.
2024 tumefikiria. Mwingine amesema atafungua studio, ajafungua. 2024 ndio imeenda. Like the year started in 2024 and we were all thinking, oh, I'll open a business. Oh, I'll do this, I'll buy a car, my friend. Wait, 2025
tunafunguaje police station?
Kama
ni biz tufanye.
Imagine, we were thinking, we had ideas. We all have good ideas, good business ideas, but putting it into practice ndio inaleta a lot of issues.
And you know, sometimes it's not even the practice as much as the times that we're in. Because we're living in an era where, first of all, it's post-pandemic.
True.
The world is just getting back to its normal self. We're in the middle of an economic crisis. Not just Kenya, globally, there is a shift because we've had so many elections, there's so many wars, and literally we're at a point where nuclear war inaweza tokea hata, and we're not sure. So when we grew up, you know, when we were younger, I think things were better, or maybe we weren't aware, but they were kind of better. The conditions were better. Business was booming. The political scene was more stable. The economic scene was more stable. But right now there's a lot of instability. So all of that is affecting us and our plans. So how do we factor that into our plans? Because Joshua, venye umesema, we ulikuwa na 2024 uko na mpango. All of a sudden, floods, maandamano, sijui the economy sijui is where, taxes, left, right and center. So everything has disoriented the plan that you had. So you can even have a budget that could have worked in 2023. But in 2024, it may not have been enough because of the things that were happening around. So how do you roll with the punches and say, venye kuko leo tunaenda tu venye kuko, kama leo sija record ni sawa, wacha nende ni practice, kesho narudi? How do you roll with that and make sure that you factor in all those things, that the changes that are happening globally?
Okay, nimekuwa niki wakati nimeona sija achieve anything yenye nimeplan kufanya, nimekuwa nikirudi chini tena kuomba, inauliza Mungu, what next? Umeplan nini next? Because anything that I'm planning, ninaona haiendi through, so nielekeze. So somehow nimekuwa nikiomba Mungu anielekeze. Tukiongea about hiyo vitu kuwa ngumu, vitu kuwa tough, umenikumbusha about the meme nilisoma kwa, it was on Facebook. Ilikuwa imeandikwa na Gen Z, and this was walikuwa na target Ruto, and they were asking him a question. When we were younger, everything was fine, everything was affordable, but wakati tumengoja sisi tumegrow ndio umepandisha vitu. Unatupangia aje? Kwa nini amtaki hata sisi tuishi hiyo life? But mimi kwangu hiyo kitu imekuwa ni kama lesson inaingia ni as in think outside the box. Nifikirie what next. Vitu zimekuwa tough. Especially mimi kwanza sijaingia na hii story ya watu wakiblame serikali. Ati kienda place kama ukiwa kwa matatu driver ama conductor na kuitisha pesa au nasema hii ndio niko nayo, mimi sina shida ni Ruto. Unafaa ulize Ruto kwa nini anapandisha vitu.
Ama because of juu unajua kumekuwa na sijui ni there's just been a hike of prices. Because when I was looking at it, you know, at some point I thought it's just Kenya. I looked at Europe. Gharama imepanda. Ukiangalia US, the same thing. People are complaining. 2 years ago, not even, I came across creator flani alitoa shopping list yake na receipt ya 2020 sijui 2019 ama 2020 hapo. Akatoa receipt, alafu akatoa receipt ya sai, ako like hii pesa ndio ilikuwa na vitu kitambo. And I think because of so many things happened in a matter of a few years, because it's been about 4 years now, we're getting to the 5th year since 2020 venye tunasema kulikuwa na covid yenye hakuna mtu alikuwa amepangia. Covid ika affect businesses kila mahali, ika affect shipping, ika affect production, ika affect the people, na watu wakapass wengi sana. Then venye we've started stabilizing from covid, there was the vaccines, the effects of the vaccines, the argument about vaccines, should we come out, should we not. Then people agreed, let us vaccinate. If you want to vaccinate, it's okay. Then business started booming kidogo, Russia and Ukraine. All of a sudden, the industry is affected. We can't get oil, we can't get grain. So I think it's just, there's been an unfortunate series of events zenye zimefuatana. Na unfortunately pia imehit say we've become adults. Because there's also this content I came across. Ati now when umeanza kuomoka kidogo, umepanda umekuwa middle class, unarudi tena. Because the money that we, like 10,000 today, is not the same 10,000 from 2019. Not even close. Even 500. It will barely get you things that will toshare. Hata ukifanya shopping, utakuwa umefunga mshipi kabisa. Ndo make you 10,000, it makes sense. And then unfortunately also the places that we're working, we're not getting pay raises. They're not so many opportunities coming about. So we're still stuck with the same salary from a few years back. With this expenses this season where there is a hike in everything, the prices are high. So people have been talking about creating job opportunities. And they've been talking about it because, you know, the youth, you have technology, you can create jobs, you have social media, you can do this. And people say it as if it's so easy as A, B, C, D. And it's really not. Especially for the creatives in the industries that you're in. You have to stand out, you have to pay your bills, you have to make sure that you're even paying for this recording hours. So what do we say about that? Because we're saying it's not easy, but what can we do? What's within our power that we can do to make sense of it? Because Consolata, you're saying, like for you, budgeting high work. So unafanya nini ndo ufanye pesa yenye unaingiza ina make sense with the expenses that you have, and such that you still have, because we still have to save. So we have to do what? Yo, people are still saving. People are still saving.
Wow, so lol. I'm shocked people are still saving.
Here's the crazy thing. The money that you're earning is sustaining also a family of 5 people.
Imagine.
You know, Joshua, just think about that. Because unajua uko peke yako, expenses ni mob. So ni wewe, bibi na watoto.
Imagine.
But so what are we doing about, what are we doing to stay afloat and to try and create new revenue and more ways of making money to supplement what we have, because bado mahitaji ziko, si ati we can drop our needs.
The thing is not relying on one source of income. If you're relying on one source of income, my friend, hautaisonga. You'll stay there, paluko. Your dream car, you'll never see it. Because one source of income, when you have a family of 5, won't do much for you. We are trying to live a life where, kwanza, us as young people, we are trying to live a life different from our parents, where sometimes you sit down and compare your life and your parents. Unasema, my dad hajai on gari, mi lazima ni on gari. Unaona?
Yeah.
But hauta on gari with one source of income. You have to look for other sources of incomes. Like, I sing. But I also do research. I also, hizo jobs ndogo ndogo nikitiwa, naenda like survey and everything. And you also do the online jobs, hizi za maju. The little income you get here and there. And you'll come to realize this main job where unapata hii salary yako, I could benefit the way this little earnings you get from here and there will benefit you more. So the secret is not relying on one source of incomes. You should find other sources of incomes. Because na moja, hakuna kitu utafanya.
That's true.
Yeah.
Now, Najwa, it's unfortunate because we learned that very quickly in COVID.
Yeah.
Because relying on one job, you can be dropped the next day.
True.
And if you don't have a backup plan, then you're stuck. Joshua, what about you? What are you doing to stay afloat? Because what wanasema create jobs, but mtu ana create job gani?
True.
So what are you doing to try and maintain, to supplement your studio fees, your production fees, to even buy instruments, na wewe mwenyewe pia ujimaintain?
Okay, according to me, kwanza nita agree na point yake vile amesema about hiyo nini ku multitask as in kuna hii job unafanya ingine. Actually my youths huku nje wanasema hakuna job, but mimi according to me naona kuna opportunities mingi sana. Before I came to realize kwanza naweza cheza muziki guitar, mimi kwa tu nimerely tu kwa music production peke yake, hata I didn't know even video production. So when you talk about 2020 hapo wakati wa corona, there's a day nilikuwa nimekaa kwa nyumba nikaona I got a business idea ya kuuza mask. Na nakumbuka hiyo siku kuna ilisema actually niliona wasee wanahitaji mask sana. So nikaambia madhi, kuanzia kesho siendi studio kwanza. Fanya hivi. Okay, my mom is a tailor. Nilimwambia shona mask hapo, utanipea kesho nijaribu kuuza. Alinipea mask, nilikuwa najaza kwa bag, nabeba kwa bag, natembeza, nikirudi imeisha yote, namuonyesha. Imeisha. So alikuwa ananiamsha kila siku asubuhi, sasa fanya hivi, nimeona hiyo kitu iko sawa, jaribu tena. Twende. Sasa ilikuwa inafika masaa unaanza kuchoka kwa sababu unaona sasa competition imekuja, wase wameanza kuuza mask hatao. Yeah, but mimi naweza sema I guess sijui Mungu anajua aje. Najua tu ni Mungu ndiye anajua. According to me, I was the first person kuanza kuuza mask. Kwa nini wacha niseme area yetu sijui huko kwingine, maybe kuna msemo mwingine alikuwa na hiyo business idea. After that, wakati competition ilianza, ndio nikakuja nikafikiria what next naweza fanya, and I started learning about music production, video production. Tena it reached a time nikaona kila kitu imekuwa worse sasa, hakuna kitu na gain, hakuna any income kwa hizo. And there's this friend of mine anaitwa Chalo, aliniconnect place fulani, tukaenda tukacheza muziki. Nilirudi na some cash. That's where I realized that hata muziki pia inaweza niingizia do. Pia ukikuja kwa hii idea ya boys wakisema ati hakuna job, mtu anakaa huko nje ni bangi tu anavuta huko. Job iko opportunity. As in uende tu na wave, unakaa tu hivyo uangalie nini saizi inahitajika yenye ukifanya saizi yenye watu wengi wafanya, ama unaangalia nini saizi nikifanya itabeba attention ya watu, hiyo busy isimame. Na wakati umeanzisha hiyo busy ufai kwenda tena kuitegea ati wakati umeanza kuona vitu imeanza kuwa down, unasema tu una stick na juu ndio ulikuwa umeanza na still. Pia ukiona vitu zimeanza kurudi chini, ng'ang'ana tena. Yeah.
And I like that advice because even millionaires na watu wako successful wanaanzanga by kunotice a gap. Ukiona kuna gap kwa industry, kwa market, unakuja unafeel your gap. So that's exactly what you did. You noticed that people need masks, and you filled that gap. But now going to the creative industry, because both of you are in that space, and there's this idea that it's saturated. And the same people are the same people getting the gigs, they're the same people getting the recognition, all that. But still, kuna some gaps in the industry that if you can notice, unaweza feel alafu upate some extra income. Because let's say like performing live in the restaurants, that's something it's there, people do it, but not the big name brands. So it's people who can wenye wanaanza kwa industry, ama people who are just trying to build an audience or have a consistent income. So how do you notice those gaps in the industry that you're in, particularly for the creative space? Consolata, as a singer, how do you pick up and say, apa kuna gap, na I can fill this gap and provide a service so that ina translate into an income?
The gap you're saying huwa tuna notice. Pia it's not easy for an upcoming artist to fill such gaps because as time inasonga, a lot of things we do inataka to connection. So even those little gaps where upcoming artists like us can fill, we still need someone to connect us. Uko ndani, you see? Like you like a restaurant, tumesema restaurant, utapata there's an upcoming a new artist ama si mtu anajulikana sana amekuwa akiplay, but you'll also realize that your restaurant they won't invite other new like upcoming artists. They'll just use the one mwenye amekuwa unless the person sasa yuko available kabisa, that's when they opt to call watu kama sisi. But otherwise you have to be connected to someone to get to fill the gap. It's not easy. I can't just I can go to the studio, record my song, but getting it out there for everyone to hear, it's not easy. Or you have to pay, or you have to pay, or you have to pay here, pay there, pay there. Oh my God, unachoka. I'm like, kumbe like record song na kuiweka uko nje is so much work. You need so much money, and you sit down and wonder, how are these big artists doing it? How are they doing it? Like, I have a good voice, but I have a good voice, but having a good voice is not everything. You need to have the money. You have to invest money in your voice. If you do not invest money in your voice, utabaki hapa. While the other people are just climbing through connections, through like having money. So even your gap, unasema, how can I fill that gap? I'll need someone to connect me ndio ni fill your gap. Otherwise on my own I can't. I cannot.
And I totally understand that because watu pia wanatakanga once they get there wanataka kushikilia hapo. They don't want to let it be open for anyone else to come into the industry. So I want us to take a very short break on that note, and then we will come back and continue talking about just a reflection of what last year and the past few years have been like and what our intentions for this new year is.